go-kart's trying to race me. Oh, you trying to cut up? Oh, you trying to cut up? Where's he at? I'll give you a second to catch up, buddy. You want the smoke? Give me the smoke. Okay, okay. Hit it. Okay. Oh. Okay. Hard brakes, hard brakes. He's taking an exit, or is he still cutting up? Oh, he's way back there. Anyway, let's talk about it. So we finally did our first track day. Whoop whoop. Pretty fun, pretty exciting. Broke my bike a little bit. All I had to do to fix it was a new battery. At least that's what it appears like so far. I think it would have started blinking and doing all this stuff again if it was still having problems. But yeah, it was super fun doing the track day. It was like, really got to learn a lot, got to build a little more confidence in my ability as a rider, and honestly just a lot of fun. I mean, I think if you're the type of person who likes racing go-karts with your friends, the track is like basically the exact same thing. Like, but you can compete with yourself a little bit more on the track than you can with go-karts, because like you can really only shave off so much time with go-karts, and that's really if you're even tracking time. You might not even be somewhere that does that. You might just be like racing for first place. But oh shit, he came back up. Oh my gosh, I was about to get over, and I saw him in the corner of my mirror. Where did he go? What the hell? He just comes out of nowhere and then just disappears and stays back again. Yeah, I don't know, but just you can kind of compete with yourself more when it comes to like having a better time on the track. So you could really just go out there and have fun even if you're by yourself. But it's definitely more fun to have people out there, and like, you know, it's nice to be able to pass some people and people pass you, so you can kind of see like, okay, I can be a little faster in this area, and then somebody's faster than me in this area, you know. So yeah, it was really fun. It's a shame though, like some of the guys have already posted some videos of their track day. Well, I guess, okay, so at the time of recording this, I haven't posted, I've barely even started editing my track day stuff, but some of the guys have already posted theirs, and like they're just getting so many hate comments because it's so whack. Because, right, like as a street rider, people tell you all the time, oh, go hit the track, go hit the track, and then you go hit the track and they're like, especially with some of the guys who crash, they're like, oh, what'd you expect, an influencer on the track, of course you're gonna crash, you suck. It's like, bro, you can't be happy either way. You tell us to go to the track, and then you go to the track and you tell us to get off the track because you don't belong there. Like, so which one is it? Anyway, people are sour though, not really my problem. I still had a ton of fun. Yeah, second topic to talk about, I was like totally living under a rock. So when Matthew Woods and High Speed Hayden came down to Texas the first time when I originally met them, there was some beef that happened with Zenith, and I'm not trying to like bring up the beef again or whatever or get it started because they've already squashed it. But like, if you don't know what happened, don't bother go looking for it. But just basically, when Hayden and Zenith exchanged phones to like follow each other on Instagram, Zenith took Hayden's phone and commented like something about like, oh, you're a good rider or something, or you're so good at riding or whatever, on his own account from Hayden's account, and then back on Zenith's phone with his own account, liked the comment and replied to it. And Hayden didn't know anything about it until people started liking the comment, which, yeah, it's like not that big of a deal, and it's a funny joke if it's like somebody who's actually your friend, but it's like super weird if you just met the person, you know. And like Matthew got the story wrong and said that Zenith called Hayden cute. So then like most of the stupid TikTok people, like, the reason I'm even talking about it is because there's people on TikTok who are still commenting on every single one of Hayden's videos referencing the cute thing, the cute comment that never happened, or saying how Zenith's better or whatever. And it's just like, probably three things I want to point out about this. One, okay, yeah, Hayden crashed out a little too hard, maybe. Like, Hayden wanted to fight about it, kind of. But I think at the core of it, Hayden, it's not that Hayden wanted to fight about the comment. It's about the fact that Hayden confronted Zenith about it, and Zenith acted like it wasn't weird at all. Like, Zenith didn't want to apologize for it originally. So it's like, if you do something and you mess up and somebody confronts you about it, you should just own up to it then and there and like apologize, but oh, okay, I'm sorry, like I just thought it was a joke. But that was, yeah, you're right, it was probably kind of weird to do to somebody who, like, I don't even know, you know. And the reason that it annoys Hayden too is because Hayden's actually a good rider. Like, Hayden's way better than me on the track by a lot. And Zenith, I probably can't really ride at all, to be honest. I don't know. I've never really seen him try to ride. I've seen him like in real life like twice, and I don't remember even watching him ride, but he just like kind of gives off the vibe that he definitely can't ride. And for, you know, if you're sticking with an R7 as a stock bike and not even as a stunt bike, then yeah, you're probably not really doing a whole lot. So it was just like insult to injury to not only do something weird, but then to say something about, oh, you're so good at riding, when like Hayden's actually a good rider and Zenith is probably not at all. And so it's just, I don't know, it's just weird. And the whole idea that like, I don't know, all these comments are coming at Hayden being like, oh, you're homophobic, you don't like a guy calling you cute, your ego's too fragile, you're a closeted gay person because you don't like being called cute. Okay, Hayden has no problem with that stuff, because Hayden was making jokes to me about how when we were going to meet up in California that he was going to be my cuddle buddy. Okay, so we don't care about making gay jokes. It's funny. It's funny when you're bros though. That's the thing. And Zenith wasn't his bro. That's what makes it weird. Okay, so then long story short, there was some beef about it, and then pretty much everybody took Zenith's side, and then that's the next thing, because now not only is Zenith weird, but then all his followers are weird, because at the end of the day, what he said shouldn't really matter that much. Like whether he called him cute or whether he said the right thing or whatever, it shouldn't really matter what he said. All these people are just taking his defense to it anyway, and like going on Hayden's account and leaving hate comments and stuff like that. Like for what exactly? Like because you're saying how Hayden is like too fragile or something and whatever. But like, do you not see how like y'all are being weird by meat riding Zenith so hard that you're just going and commenting? Like after this stuff has already been so long gone done, you know, like this is like probably months already after it's already happened, and these people are still like, they must not have a job, I guess, because like, how do you have the time to like still be commenting on Hayden's stuff after it has been done for so long, you know? You just really, I just feel like you can't have like a life, you know, like you have nothing going on for you if you're going over and still doing that in his comment section. It's just weird. It's weird behavior from Zenith, and it's weird behavior from his comments, or from his fans. And yeah, Hayden probably crashed out a little bit too hard. There was really no reason to want to fight, but at the same time, like, if you think about it, like, maybe for that particular comment, there was no reason to get that mad. But like the situation in general of taking his phone and like commenting something from that, it's just like, if you can't be trusted, if the only thing that y'all consensually agreed on was follow each other and give the phone back, and you can't even be trusted for something so simple, and felt that you were, you know, fine to go start messing with other stuff and leaving comments and doing whatever. Okay, what else would you have done? Are you the type of guy that's gonna think, oh, it'll be funny real quick if I just go through his camera roll, haha, and then see something you shouldn't see or whatever, you know? It's like, it's not funny, bro. It's funny if you're homies, but like, you're not his homie. I wouldn't even do that shit, and I would call myself pretty good friends with Hayden, so it's just like, I don't know, it's whack. Anyway, moving on, I think there was a third thing I want to talk about. Here's another current trending topic: people crashing and making GoFundMes. What are your all's opinions on that, huh? Because I crashed in 2021 and I just bit the bullet, you know, dealt with it, have my hospital bills, and, you know, pay what I can, and if you can't, it goes to collections, baby. But Not like it really matters that much, but I mean, it kind of does, but it doesn't. I don't know. Anyway, somebody recently, somebody pulled out in front of, or I don't know what happened. Like somebody, I guess, took an exit which cut off this girl named Jay Rides, and then Jay crashed, and then made a GoFundMe, and then like after getting her GoFundMe money, posted herself at the club with like a shit ton of money, like doing a money spread on her arm or something. And everybody's pissed because they're like, wow, you're using the GoFundMe money instead of on hospital bills, taking that money and going to the club or whatever. And then she comes out and says, oh, I went to the club for my birthday because my friends took me out and they paid for everything and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I don't know, you know, we can only really take your word for it, but I think, I feel like it's the posting a GoFundMe in general, like, that people are mainly annoyed with, because that's been happening a lot lately. You know, when somebody dies and the family can't afford to take care of that, so like a writer dies and you're posting a GoFundMe for funeral costs, maybe that's a little more understandable. But I think all of it is just a little bit like, you take a risk as a writer and you know the consequences, and you know that, you know, you can get hurt doing this, you know that you could die doing this, whatever. So if you're not financially capable of like paying for hospital bills if you get hurt, or, you know, if you're fine with just letting it go to collections or whatever, or if you could set up a payment plan, whatever the case may be, because I'm not saying that if you can't afford to pay the hospital bills that you shouldn't ride, okay? I don't know that I could technically afford it. When I broke my back, it was like $50,000, okay? And I was like 19. I barely got out of high school. I didn't have like a real good paying job yet. So like, of course, if you have insurance, they could pay a decent amount of it. In my case, I still owed like probably over $10,000 to $20,000 though. So I set up payments. Of course, I didn't really talk to the hospital about what I did. I just like set them up through my Chase Bank as reoccurring payments, and some of them didn't like the amount that I was giving them, and it went to collections, and you know, now I have stuff at collections. But point being, I crashed and I accepted responsibility for my own actions, and I didn't beg for money for it, because it is not my follower. And I wasn't like, I didn't have that many followers back then either, but even if I did, okay, even if I crashed now, it's not my followers' responsibility to pay for my mistakes. I chose to be out here, and here's the thing too. Yeah, you got cut off or whatever, but like, are you not a capable enough rider to where somebody goes to try to take an exit and you can't dodge it? Because I've been in a lot of situations where I get cut off or whatever happens, and I'm a competent enough rider to where it hasn't been a problem yet. Okay, I may have been in accidents, but I've never been in accidents involving other people. So I don't know anything about this girl. I know she's friends with people I'm friends with, so I'm not trying to start problems because I don't know anything about her really. But all I'm saying is, it's a little bit like, I don't know if you'd say rude. It's not exactly like the word I'm looking for, but I feel like most people see it as, you're taking, you know, the risk you're taking with a motorcycle, and if you're not prepared to deal with the repercussions yourself, then maybe you shouldn't be doing it, because I don't really see why you need a GoFundMe. Now, the instances where I don't think GoFundMes are as bad, I already talked about when you die, right? But second one being, oh, shout out MBT, by the way, for the gloves. He gave me some stuff at the track day event. I have a code JAR70. The referral link might work too, but I don't know. Just make sure you plug in the code if you don't see a discount if you buy anything. Anyway, subtle plug. Second instance where I don't have a problem with GoFundMe is people that are victims of hit and runs. If you were doing everything correct and like somebody plows through a red light and hits you and just totally screws you, and the community wants to help take care of you because it was absolutely not your fault whatsoever, then that is understandable to me, okay? Like Chase Too Cool, who lost his leg because he was hit from a hit and run. Now, I will say he was doing a wheelie, and I think in one of them he either didn't have a helmet, because I think he's been hit twice with a hit and run. He either didn't have a helmet or he had the bucket helmet, which is not that great. But the thing is, when somebody blasts through a red light like that and does as much damage as they did to him, I think that's a situation where wheelie or no wheelie, he was probably getting hit regardless. So like making a GoFundMe in that situation, I don't really have a problem with, because it's not his fault they ran a red light. Okay, you can say, oh well, if he was on two wheels he could have been looking around. Be honest with yourself. How many people, even when they're riding on two wheels doing everything proper, are actually going to avoid somebody blasting through a stoplight at like 40 miles an hour or whatever it was, you know? You kind of have to, like, especially when you're riding in the city and, you know, it's kind of blind having buildings off to the side of these intersections and stuff. There's probably not much he could have done, okay? So the two instances when you die and the money is going to the family to help them because it's not their fault that you made a mistake, or, you know, maybe something else happened. Maybe you died from a hit and run, but regardless of what it is, it's not your family's fault that, you know, they're having to pay to bury you now. Secondly, being victims of hit and run. Maybe there's other circumstances too. Basically kind of any circumstance, whatever it may be, that if it was absolutely not your fault and you're just like, you just totally got screwed, then yeah, okay, I feel like a GoFundMe is a little bit more acceptable. But situations where you just lacked the skill to prevent the crash or whatever it may be, say somebody's going through a curve and gets target fixation and crashes, and I've seen literally 2 videos lately where they blamed the wind for that. It's like, no, you got target fixation, something like that, and you wanna set up a GoFundMe. Like, that's a situation where I feel like that's just a little bit ridiculous. So yeah, anyway, hopefully this never comes back to bite me, you know. Hopefully, but the thing is, I don't think I would ever set up a GoFundMe, because not only do I not want y'all to have to pay for my mistakes, but I would feel like entitled to like having to like get back into this stuff. Like say if I got hurt and I made a GoFundMe, that way I could like recover, you know, then I feel like I would be entitled to making videos again and riding again and stuff. And what if I get hurt and I don't want to ride anymore, you know? I don't want to take y'all's money to help me recover and then not even come back to making videos. It's the same reason why, like, sometimes people have told me, oh, you should set up a GoFundMe so we can help buy you a supermoto. Like, I don't really want to take y'all's money, because at the end of the day, well, I'll sell merch, right? If y'all want to buy merch and you're actually getting something for the money that you're helping give me, then that to me is fine. But like, I don't want just to take free money from y'all, because if I set up a GoFundMe for y'all to help fund a supermoto for me, and then I decide that I really don't want the supermoto, and then I ride it for a little bit and sell it, then I feel like I just stole all your money. Maybe the people with like no moral conscience, that's not a problem, but I don't like doing people wrong. I like, you know, if something's wrong with my bike when I'm selling it, or my car when I'm selling it, or whatever, anything that I'm selling, I try to give people the full story and absolute knowledge of what they're getting, because I would feel bad if I was in their shoes and like, say I need a reliable vehicle to get to work, and I go to buy something and the dude like completely lies about everything and it claps out on me in 2 days, like, and now I'm screwed, you know? So I want to treat people the same way that I want to be treated. And unfortunately, that's not how everything is in the world, but it is what it is. There's probably some kind of saying about life not being fair that I wish I could say right now, because it'd sound cool, but I'll have to like look for one and put it on the screen. I actually did think of one that I saw. I don't remember exactly how it goes, but I think it's something like, you say, man, life just isn't fair, and your bro hits you with, yeah, and I'm happy it's not fair, because if it was, we'd all be taking the punishment that Jesus took for us. It hits hard, bruh. Anyway, it's windy, man. This ride is not very enjoyable. Cut up with me, truck, cut up! Woo! There's a lot of traffic. Oh, the cops going in reverse on the highway? On the toll road? Why are you going in reverse? Oh, put it in reverse, Terry! Put it in reverse! Speaking of nothing, my fork seals are leaking so bad, dude. I don't know if you probably can't tell. I literally have a rag zip tied around my fork seals right now because they're pissing fork oil. Ah! What is my luck with forks lately? Shout out to Dallas for shutting this bridge down for me real quick to legally do a wheelie. This is a private stunt show, YouTube. Damn, my bike is pulling right like crazy. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe.